Love Inspired Suspense and HarlequinAudio present Pacific Northwest K-9 Unit, Books 7 through 9, featuring Undercover Operation by Maggie K. Black, performed by Abby Drayden, and Snowbound Escape by Dana Mentink, performed by Eva Kaminsky, and K-9 National Park Defenders, comprised of Yuletide Ransom by Katie Lee, performed by Patricia Santomasso, and Holiday Rescue Countdown by Cherie Stover, performed by Jennifer Sun Bell. Undercover Operation.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. For Gwen, the honorary grandma to every child in our church and all those who go out of their way to love others. 1. Officer Asher Gilmore of the Pacific Northwest K-9 Unit sauntered down the Rock River boardwalk toward the marina and pier with what he hoped looked like the swagger of a man who was new in town and looking to make friends with the wrong kind of people. The tourist area was bustling, with souvenir stalls and food trucks, along with busking musicians, caricaturists, and above all tour boat operators urging those who passed to come and experience the glorious Pacific waters from the decks of their boats before the weather turned cold. It was Asher's first day of a new undercover assignment as Dan Johnson, a Canadian boat operator, newly married to a beautiful American wife, and someone who wasn't opposed to making a little extra cash by running drugs across the border. He'd grown a beard for the operation and darkened his light brown hair. Mirrored sunglasses hid his eyes to disguise the way he scanned the scene for signs of trouble. His canine partner, Spark, an English Springer Spaniel, walked by his side and was undercover too, with a bright red bandana tied around his neck instead of his usual canine vest. On the outside, Asher knew he looked confident, maybe even a little cocky. But under the surface he could feel the tension building at the back of his neck, like someone had wrapped a thick rubber band around the top of his spine. He and Spark were used to tackling cases solo, or with their fellow officers. But this time, they'd be working with the unit's lead canine trainer. Peyton Burns, posing as his wife Mary, was waiting for them at the boat. Asher let out a long breath. He had a whole bunch of complicated feelings about the fact the PNK9's chief, Donovan Finelli, had decided that Asher and Peyton should go undercover as a pair of happy newlyweds. In June, 3 precious bloodhound puppies had been stolen from the PNK9 training center. Peyton had not only been devastated, she'd been determined to find them and bring them home safely. Now they finally had a lead that the stolen pups might be somewhere in the area, and Chief Finelli had wanted Peyton to be on the mission. As she'd been training Ranger, Agent, and Chief, she knew the pups better than anyone. Plus, Peyton was so devoted to her job that she'd even graduated from the police academy and a canine training program in order to more fully understand what the dogs and officers needed. Finelli had felt she brought invaluable skills to this investigation. But although Peyton would never know it, Asher had actually initially argued against having her with him on the mission. With his own half-sister Mara, currently on the run, a prime suspect in the double homicide of her ex-boyfriend and his new girlfriend, Asher didn't exactly have the best track record for keeping the women in his life safe. The need to protect the beautiful trainer from harm was an unwanted complication and distraction he couldn't afford. He felt his canine partner tug at his leash. Asher looked down. The black and white Springer Spaniel glanced up at Asher and swished his tail to let him know that his keen nose detected drugs in the area. Asher ran a hand over the dog's head to thank him for letting him know. He almost felt sorry for the pup. The Pacific Ocean sailor's sea that ran between the United States and Canadian border was a hotbed for the illegal cross-border drug smuggling trade. Asher wouldn't be surprised if his partner's highly trained nose was picking up all kinds of suspicious smells right now. He knew a little something himself about sensing that something wrong was going down but being unable to do a fool thing about it. Any drug smugglers they managed to bust and put away in this mission would be a happy bonus. Their focus was finding those 3 stolen bloodhound puppies.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?